Today, I want to share with you one of my favorite electronic music pieces that I've ever written. Freebeat. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day, so if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Today's patron shout-out goes to Richard Fadenhauer. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. So a few days ago, someone left a comment on the channel asking me to write an entire album on the Elektron Model cycles and publish that. And while that will be something that I do in the future, right now I'm actually working on my Pocket Operator album, so a Model Cycles album probably isn't in the near future anyway, but it kind of reminded me that I have actually written a song on the Model Cycles that is one of my favorite pieces of electronic music that I've ever written. And it made me realize that I've never really released this song. When I debuted it on the channel, I had just gotten my Model Cycles, so that was in December of 2020, and the channel had less than 3,000 subscribers back then. And since then, of course, the channel has basically quadrupled in size. And that means that a lot of you have probably never heard this song before. I've only performed it 3 times, I think. 3 or 4 times at the live stream concerts that we did last year. So there's a good chance not many of you have heard this song. It's called No Better Time. I wrote it entirely on the Elektron Model cycles, and I figured I'd let you listen to it right now, and then we will go ahead and sort of do a mini analysis of it. And also, if you're watching this video, that means I have made this track available as a single on my Bandcamp page. Just click the link in the description. But anyway, enough about that. Here we go. No Better Time. Enjoy. All right, so that was my track, No Better Time. Again, it's available as a single now on my Bandcamp page if you'd like to pick it up for just $1. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive into the analysis now. So I actually have it pulled up on my computer behind me, and I've got the keyboard right here. So in theory, I can just hit spacebar and kind of pause, and we can talk about what we're hearing. So let's talk about this first pattern here. This was actually the first thing I came up with for the song. I kind of came up with this little fifth thing on the chord machine, and I just liked how it sounded. And I recorded this actually on the keys on the Model Cycles itself. I recorded it in live, quantized, and before I even hooked up the keyboard, that's what I recorded with. So yeah, kind of fun. And that little pattern kind of set the tone for the rest of the piece. So it's sort of bouncy, but it's at this nice kind of like halftime feel tempo that I really, really dug, and it was super easy to come up with the drum pattern for it, which is about to come in. So we bring the hats in, bring in the snare drum, bring in a little kick drum, then we build it up. So, fun fact, I actually came up with this drum pattern here as what I wanted to go over the intro. And it actually wound up feeling a little too busy for my liking. So what I did was I wound up coming up with that new synth part that went over this new drum part that I wanted to go on the original spot. So kind of funny how that worked out, but a lot of times that's just how music composition goes. But I really, really like this synth pattern. I love that it's silent on beat 1, on the downbeat there. So bop, bop. We come in on that offbeat on the and of beat 1. And actually the E of beat 1 because quarter notes are right here. So 1 E and yeah, bop, bop. Super fun, really syncopated. And the 4 on the floor on the kick drum actually really keeps us grounded and is one of my favorite parts about playing this song live when I get to play it on the actual drum set. Super fun. Bring in that new synth. Just mirroring the main line. Then we go into what I call the Tall Tall Heights section, because it kind of reminds me of the Tall Tall Heights theme from The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Super kind of 8-bit video gamey feeling. Now we're bringing in 8th notes on the kick drum, which at this tempo, these are the 8th notes. And there's not much else to it. One of my favorite things to do in music is switch between halftime and double time. So we're just kind of building up right now. There's going to be this nice snare drum roll that kind of crescendos into this really, really heavy, intense melodic line, and yeah, it feels very ominous, and yeah, well, here we go. Here comes that snare part. Little different drum fills here and there too. Now back to the beginning for the middle. So that's one thing I was really, really happy about being able to do. It was one of the reasons I was so excited for the Model Cycles. This was my first device that I ever owned that allowed me to do longer patterns and just more linear style songwriting. So I was able to come out of that kind of intense bit with the da-da, da-da, bop, bop, right back into that main melody. And like I said, one of my favorite things is that the downbeat of beat 1 is just completely blank. So it really brings in a nice little moment of suspense there. I'm actually going to turn on my monitor here and go back, and we'll listen to that again real quick. I have the monitor off because I didn't know if it would mess with the lighting. Looks okay. Here we go. I love that. So in this section here, you'll actually notice I have quite a few different little drum fills, including a nice little triplet one coming up here. Always trying to leave beat 1 blank. Now we're going to wind down into a keyboard solo. And you'll notice that now we go back to the very, very beginning of the song where the synth is playing that little melody that we opened with, and this time there's a keyboard solo over the top of it. And yes, the keyboard solo does come from the model cycles as well. You'll notice everything else is really pulled back, kind of letting that solo shine. All right, now we're coming up on one of the most technical parts of the song. We actually change time signatures here, and we go to a mixture of 5/8 and 4/4, I believe. I love odd meter, and this was just a really fun chance to use the model cycles ability to have different pattern lengths. And yeah, I just kind of went wild with it. So this is one of my favorite sections to play live as well. This whole song is just a blast to play live, but figuring out different ways to kind of improvise on the drums in 5/8 is a lot of fun. And I kind of tamed it down on the actual track, just so you can kind of, get some semblance of what's going on and kind of get your wits about you, since 5/8 is a pretty weird time signature. Now we'll do that one more time, and then we'll do it again, but on the last time, it's a measure of 6/4, actually. Or 4/4 to 2/4 if you'd like. And there's one of my favorite parts, those 6 quarter notes there, bringing us back around to the main motif, the bop bop. A lot of fun, and this time through the main melody as well coming up, there's these really hard quarter note triplet stabs that are just a blast to play. I was so happy that I figured out how to program them on the model cycles, and I think it just is really, really hard hitting, and I love how it sounds. I love that. We're gonna quickly go back to that double time coming up here. Set it up with the drums. Bunch of different drum fills in here too. Referencing that fill earlier with an extra 16th. And there we go. So that's No Better Time, one of my favorite pieces that I've ever written, a blast to play in the live shows, and yeah, hopefully some of you have not heard that before. Hopefully some of you even enjoyed it. Again, if you really enjoyed it, you can pick it up on Bandcamp for just $1, but it's always here for you to listen to, and I believe there's a YouTube release too. Maybe I'll link that in the description as well, if you like it, but not enough to pay for it. That was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did. If so, be sure to leave a like on the video. If not, don't worry, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Ring that notification bell. New content every single day. By the way, if you have any questions about that track for me, just leave them in the comments down below. Yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Ooh. Just in time to beat the yard care crew outside. Bye.